welcome to Christy's Stampin' Spot. So I hope everybody has been enjoying the new catalog. If you guys don't have one and you want one, make sure you email me and I'll send one out to you. All sorts of awesomeness in this thing. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Plus you can also download a digital copy to see it too. And one of the new things is if you notice, we no longer carry the Big Shot. We have a new cutting system coming sometime. I'm not sure when yet, but they did until the meantime. They have come out with this lovely 3D embossing folder plate. So I haven't gotten mine yet. It's still, I actually have my pre-order, my big order that I ordered as soon as the catalog went live. It doesn't even actually get here till tomorrow. So, and then I ordered this again like the day after when they released it. So it's still in picking. So I have no idea when it'll get here. But what's awesome about this new plate, it's for the new embossing folders. So when we went to a new system, the 3D our 3D embossing folders are a little different, which is why our carryover folders aren't yet available. But the new ones are available, but you need to use a shim to make it work in your Big Shot or some of your other cutting machines. But they came up with this lovely plate to help make our sandwich. So it's not in the catalog because it's not going to be like forever. It's just our holdover product until our new cutting system comes out. But you can now order that. So I know I have the details on my Facebook page and on my blog. So if you guys have already ordered some of the new embossing folders and you're wondering why it's not fitting right and you don't want to, deal with making your own sham, you can totally shim. You can go ahead and get an order, and it's only $10. It's a lovely plate, so that's exciting. So that's new, and it's been so long since I've been here. I've had this terrible, I went to Hawaii and got a wicked cough, super sick. I'm home now, I'm feeling better, which is lovely. So this is one of the cards with one of the new stamp sets, and this is with the bees that actually just retired. Which I really loved. And then I already really missed Everything is Lovely Rosie stamp set, which I really loved. I hope everybody got that and enjoyed it. And then this one's with the Magnolia. Good Morning Magnolia. And I love these. These are the card, the oversized large cardstock. Aren't those pretty? Love them, love them. Those, the large Magnolia Lane envelopes and cards, I think is what those are. Super cute, super cute. Okay, so today I'm going to make a quick card using our one of our new DSPs. Isn't this pretty? It's so gorgeous. So these are the Mosaic Mood DSPs. Here, I cut out a little sample so you guys can see. So this is the one that we're using today. As you can tell, look how gorgeous that is. It's got and this side's embossed with the hummingbirds. And then look at, isn't that pretty? The roses and the butterflies. And then it's a pretty yellow on that side. Ooh, I love this green. And this one is embossed. You can see that shine? Isn't that pretty? And it has this gorgeous roses and butterflies. And here's a lovely print. Look at that gorgeous tile print. Isn't that pretty? And it has this lovely yellow on the back, and then this one's actually embossed with the little star flowers. It's pretty. And then more hummingbirds, which is really pretty. And now this is another one of this tile. Like the green one that we're using today is not embossed, right? It's more of a matte finish, but the orange one is embossed. Isn't that pretty? And then it has a really nice matte pattern on the back. And oh yeah, that's what we already showed you. So these are really pretty, and I just really like this. I don't know why, I just love that. So we're going to use that one today with this pretty butterfly, and this is from the Beautiful Day set that did carry over from the last catalog, but now you can only get it in the cling. So I have actually still have my my clear mount stamps, and I'll probably end up putting the stickers on it and converting it to the cling, which is awesome. So I actually embossed the butterfly on vellum today. So I'm not sure how long my voice will last because I have a terrible cough. It was really bad yesterday, so it's doing really good today. So hopefully I'll make it through. So I'm just going to go ahead and get crafting. I did all the embossing beforehand. But so in our regular 8.5 by 11 cardstock, or letter cardstock here, so I've cut it at 4 1/4 and 11, and then scored it 5.5 of our very vanilla. And then I did cut the DSP. Oh, but first I did cut a piece of the Terracotta Tile, which is one of our really gorgeous 2019-2021 in colors. Isn't that pretty? Love this. It's such a great color. Anyway, I didn't want to waste the inside because I'm going to use it just on the out. So I used one of our fabulous rectangle framelets, which are really handy, especially if you do a lot of layering, because it can add too much weight to your card. And then look at, have you tabbed it now? You have a lovely piece of the terracotta tile or whatever you're going to layer that you can use on a different project. So you don't want to waste that cardstock. So look at that. It'll just go perfect on there. I love this. Isn't that pretty? So we can have it two ways. You can either have it going down or up. Isn't that pretty? Okay. And then I went ahead and already did the embossing. So I embossed the butterfly, and because my terracotta tile is so juicy, all I had to do was use that ink and the clear. So what I did first with the vellum cardstock is I used my embossing buddy, and if you guys ever emboss, you totally need one. And what does embossing buddy do? Well, it's like a chalk, it's super fine powder, and you actually add it to your cardstock, or in this case my vellum, to keep it from getting the static, so that when I emboss it, it only sticks to the ink and not just randomly to the paper. And then I did, so I just mounted my stamp. I stamped directly from the terracotta ink onto my vellum, and then I immediately put it in to my embossing. So I used the clear embossing, and I use these, and I got these, this snapware lid at Target, and this works really well because you can set this down with it almost opened, but enough so that your heat gun doesn't blow into it, which is kind of lovely. And I did not pour all of it. As you can see here, this is my clear embossing. It comes like this, and so I just dump it in here. And what this does is you can it's just the right amount of size to get your paper in there and get it in the ink without making too big of a mess, which is, you know, always a plus. And then once you've got your powder on, it'll be lightly discolored, and then you get out your heat tool. And what's cool about our Stampin' Up! Heat tool is we have two different levels, level 1 and level 2. So, and you always want to make sure when you're embossing, you let it get, you warm it up first. So you want to, you know, hit to let it run for like 5-10 seconds before you hit your vellum or your cardstock when you're embossing. And then I have a big piece here, but if you're trying to emboss a smaller piece, make sure you have tweezers to hold it, because the heat gun is pretty hot and you can burn your fingers. So you definitely want to keep in control of your image and your paper while you're heat embossing. So I'm going to actually, then once I did this, we don't actually have lovely framelits that match. So I'm actually going to use my paper snips, and I'm going to cut out my image. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So I really like using the clear embossing. Now, if you find that your ink pad isn't juicy enough, or if you're really dry and where you're at, and you're finding that your embossing powder does not adhere, then what I would suggest is to use your Stamparatus, and then stamp your image in the terracotta tile, and then stamp, or whichever color you're using, and then stamp it with Versamark. So you would keep your butterfly on the Stamparatus. You can stamp right over top, and then you can keep the color with the clear. And with the Versamark, you would also, it just goes clear, so you'll be able to get this color. That way we don't have to actually purchase embossing powders that are of each of the colors. We can just use the clear. So the Stamparatus is awesome for that. But luckily my my terracotta tile was super juicy and I didn't need to do that. It just worked so lovely. So lovely to do it. So I love fussy cutting. I know some people have like the scan and cut because they don't like to fussy cut. But I love to fussy cut. And unfortunately we don't have framelits for these. We have framelits for a lot of it. And these are of course the butterfly image that carried over, the Beautiful Day set, which is really quite pretty. But we do have other butterflies that do have framelits. There we go, isn't that pretty? Oh, love it. Okay, so and I really tried, I did the vellum so we can see this pretty paper. So that's the hardest part for me sometimes is the DSP, is I don't want to cover it up. But with the vellum, it shines right through. Isn't that pretty? So pretty, so pretty. Okay, and so then for the sentiment, I did the same thing. I cut a piece of very vanilla cardstock, and I think it's like 1 inch by, I think this is like 3 3/8. I'll have it on my, I have it up on my blog. Yeah, it's 3 3/8. And then I just stamped it on there, or you could stamp it and then cut it down to the inch and 3 7/8. So whichever is easiest for you. But again, just like with the vellum, you need to use the embossing buddy first and then stamp. And again, if your ink is not juicy enough to adhere your clear embossing powder, then you would definitely want to use your Stamparatus so you can stamp over it with the Versamark. But again, luckily I wasn't having to do that, so I didn't have to, which is awesome. And then I'm just going to put that on there. So we have one of the pretty new ribbons. This is one of our pretty new ribbons. It's called the Tactile. It's a tactile ribbon. Isn't that pretty? Textile ribbon, and this in the mint macaron. Isn't that pretty? It's such a pretty ribbon. So pretty. It feels so nice. So I just want to put a little bit on. I just want to put a little bit on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it around. Okay. So to build my card, I'm going to put glue on. I guess it doesn't really matter since I'm going to cover this up. I'm going to put my glue on my terracotta tile. You don't want to be too liberal with this glue because it will goosh out the side and you don't want to get glue everywhere. And if you're not comfortable, of course, you don't have to cut out. But I was like, I only had a couple packs of this paper and I wouldn't want to cover it up. Isn't that pretty? So nice. There you go. And then if you notice, even though I'm about to cover it up, when you cut out with the rectangles, it leaves on the negative, right? So you have it both sides. You've got the stitch on this side and on this side, which is kind of cool, especially if you're gonna layer. Isn't that pretty? It's really nice. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my and it's hard to cover up the pretty, that's the whole thing, but luckily we can just buy more. And I'm gonna use a couple pieces of my tear tape to put my ribbon down. This way I don't have to wrap it all the way around, and I'm not doing a bow. You don't want to waste any of that gorgeous ribbon. And I like the tear tape, or you can use glue dots or your snail to adhere your pull these backings off, the ends of, to secure the ends of your ribbon. And let's see, I want it to be a little bit higher. There we go. That's about right. There, I get it a little bit too long, so I'm just going to snip that little piece off, which I will use. I keep all of my odds and ends, bits and pieces of ribbons, and I fold them because this is like the perfect amount to use a little glue dot and attach it like that. So I always save all my little pieces of ribbon. Anyway, okay, so for this I want to actually pop this up on dimensionals. So let me take a drink of my drink. I have been drinking so much bubble soda, and I've been just drinking the plain. I cannot find my Schweppes anywhere. I love black cherry Schweppes. It's like my favorite flavor of the bubble water. My sister got me addicted to it when we went to Dragon Con in Atlanta, but they don't carry it here in the in Arizona. Very sad. Okay, so I put a bunch in, and you definitely don't want to skimp on the Stampin' Dimensionals, because there is also like this, it's going in, so it'll definitely need in the middle, otherwise you'll touch your card and it'll go in. You need it for a little bit of structure, which is nice. Oh my gosh, these little things are funny. When I went to Hawaii, I did take my paper pumpkin and I used some dimensionals, and there were these little, I had little dimensional pieces everywhere, all over the hotel room. It was funny. And I was trying to be so good, but I am such a messy crafter. It's just terrible. Okay, so then you just go ahead and put that on there. As you can see, layer it around. So just a little bit, and if you can see on this DSP, it actually has some terracotta, like the tile color, like almost spritz it on, but it's actually on there, which is super pretty, super pretty. Okay, so let me go ahead and put my sentiment on first. And I again want to let's see, I think I have some ends. I'm gonna go ahead and use these ends. You want to make sure you use all of your pieces of Stampin' Dimensionals. So because I'm going to set it in the middle of this, I want to make sure I'll just put my dimensionals like this, so that the ribbon is in the middle. So I'm not having to worry about trying to put it on top of the ribbon. Did I cut another one up? I did right here. Sweet. I love Stampin' Dimensionals. I have to like order a couple packages now every time I place an order. I used to not use dimensionals as much as I do now, but I love them, love them, love them. Okay, and then you just put it right here over the top. So this is super simple, and just doing a little bit of the embossing really makes the color sparkle nice. It's so pretty. Okay, so the trick that I use to put on the butterfly is there's a couple ways you can do it. I'm going to use my glue, but I'm actually going to adhere the glue in like little bitty dots. Let me make sure I get all that out of the way so I don't accidentally adhere one of these. I have to sweep when I get done. These menace little papers. Anyway, so I just add it to the body. So the color, so if any of the glue or adhesive would show through, it's underneath this color, so you can't really see it. So I just add some dots, and of course you could sponge on, you could probably use snail. I think snail works pretty good. I just really am liking the glue, and adding just like a little bitty dots of the glue onto my butterfly. So, and I definitely, even if it shows through, although most of the time it doesn't show through, if it was going to, I hide it underneath, which is pretty exciting. Okay, then I'm just going to adhere it. I want it to be a little bit to overlap. So it's just going to overlap right here, just a little bit, just like that, and then glue it down, and that's it. Look at how pretty. You can see that gorgeous McMacron tile in the background. Not pretty? Okay, so, and then to spruce it up, we have these are awesome new in color faceted gems. I love these. They come in these 3 different sizes. So I'm totally going to use the Terracotta Tile ones to add to, what did I do with my, oh here it is, my Pick a Tool. Ooh, and we have a new brush thing for when we die cut. It hasn't come yet. It's in my new order, which is exciting. And then I'm gonna add one right there, and I'll put the small one next to it on the big one. And then I'll add this one up. I want it. I'll add it right there. There we go. Not pretty? And then to finish it off, we'll add some, when I was cutting my DSP, when you cut it down, because they're in 12 by 12 sheets. So when I cut out I cut them at 4. When I cut them out, I have a little bit, you have a little bit of extra at the end, and then don't ever throw any of that extra out. And then I actually cut it down to little, I think this is like 1/4 inch, eighth of an inch pieces. I'm just going to glue it onto the inside to pull that theme through. Not pretty? So I just add a little bit of glue. Put it in the bottom. I've seen some people like to put it up the side, on the sides, but like that. I did get a little bit of extra, too much glue. I did get too much glue, which is okay. You just gotta make sure you don't glue anything to yourself. I actually had a paper towel earlier. I have a little paper towel. Get the glue off my fingers. Okay, so when that dries, I have my handy dandy eraser. So I'll just make sure not to push too far, and then use less glue. So what's awesome about the glue is it gives you a little bit of wiggle room, but if you too much, then it spooges, makes a mess. I actually am getting much better at using my glue. It's one of those things that if you use it a lot, you start to get better at it. I've been really using it a lot. I've really gotten better at it. And then I have, so again, I'm down to my last 2 that I had. We used to have these, and they were like $2. And so whenever you had almost, you know, to almost get to an order, I used to add one to every order. And I used to have like, I don't know, 20 of these. And now I don't have, I'm down to my last 2. I hope Stampin' Up! Brings them back, because they work so nice to get this, to take off the extra adhesive that you get on your paper. I think you can get these at the craft stores, like Michael's or Joann's, or online. Everything, you can get everything on eBay. But I got a lot on there this time. I really put way too much glue on. Hello? Hi, Stacy. I don't know where I went. I don't know when I went off. I was taking off the glue. My phone was like, you have not enough space on your phone for whatever. I don't know what it was doing. It stopped my... So my phone is being crazy, and I'm just about, so I've finished my card. So I hope you guys enjoyed my card, and if you like my project, please, you know, like my page. If you're watching this live on or the replay on my YouTube channel, hit the subscribe so you can so you can get my other videos. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching, Stacy. Thanks. Yeah, this DSP is so gorgeous. But I apparently have taken too many pictures while I was in Hawaii because my phone is saying I have no storage left. So it keeps saying, you're going to be dangerously low, stop, stop, stop. So it just did it again. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll maybe pop on later on in the week. So bye, happy crafting.